Alright, Mega Von, everybody. Welcome to another video by Poteen. It'll be the Lord of the Rings online. I'm on my 150 Guardian, but I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to show you a rotation using the yellow line. The yellow line is a supplement line, so it's only costs 1 point if you're in red or blue line. So it's not a real line. It used to be a real line, but it is not anymore. It's a fun one to kind of go around with. The way I've kind of built this one is so if you're in yellow line, you can either decide to go blue or red as your main line. Then I just dump all my points into yellow line. And then obviously whatever's over, I will switch all the way over here. The only thing I didn't do in yellow line is I didn't do radiant because I just want my area effect ground damage to be very small because he cannot take the beating of a blue line, but he is a tankish line. So we'll first go over class traits, racial traits, the virtues. Then I'll go over my LIs, and then I'll go over rotation. We'll fight as far as we can. Maybe we'll get to the second bosses, but we'll see how it goes. And then after that, we will stop the video. So with this line, it is the Fighter of the Shadows, uses light damage to empower both offense and defense. So you could either go into Keen Blade, then go all yellow line, or you could go into blue line, and then, or Defender of the Free, and then go into yellow line. I'll probably unlock some of this at some point, and then do a red line version of all of the yellow lines, which are the only classes that have supplement yellow lines are the Guardian, Warden, Minstrel, and Brawler. So everybody else will have access to all three lines. Those are the only ones that have two lines and a supplement. Okay, so first thing is I'm going to do Force Opening. What this does is it let me access a response to parry. So instead of shield, like a shield line that's in the traditional blue line, this is going to be a very heavy parry response. Okay. I'm trying to think. Is this... Because I do like... not shield time. I don't really use shield time. You can use a shield line, but I'm going to be using strictly just... Can I even use this? I don't know if I can. I don't think so. I'm going to be using strictly two-handed weapons for this one. See, there it is. Retaliate and Whirling Retaliation. Okay, so let's just go through that. So that's the one I'm going to do so I can use my parry response line. I do Insult to Injury, which has a 20% chance to hit for a renewal of debuffs, and my attack speed duration. So kind of nice. So this is the Bastion of Light. This is going to be the area effect damage. A lot of my damage is going to come out of the Bastion of Light, but I'm not going to put Radiant on it because I do not want it to grow any bigger because I want to be able to control how many mobs I'm fighting. Tenderize using parry or block skills provides an additional critical rating, which is going to be nice. Warrior's Gall, this is going to give me +1 to 1% to tactical mitigation, critical defense, evade chance, and partial evade chance. Flashing of Light, so Bastion of Light now deals damage over time to those in the hotspot, which you'll see on the ground. Defensive expertise, so block and parry is increased. Singular Focus, scoring a critical hit with a single target response skill will decrease the target's mitigation. So that's nice. Debuffs them. Light Touched. So increases my healing, increases my melee damage. But also it lets me block with my two-handed weapons. So that's kind of nice. Especially if I want to go down a block line. But because I don't have a shield, I can't access a lot of my block abilities, but having the ability to block will decrease the damage I take. So I'm not using it to trigger like a parry response line, but I am using it to stay alive. Numb Senses, so additional debuffs and skill cooldowns. Bolster, each rank increases your critical defense bonus from bolster stacks. A War Chant, so this is like an area effect damage and debuff. This is a nice one. You will see me use it a lot. Greatly increases threats, and also 5% off of parry response skills. So you will see me use the the Whirling Retaliation before War Chant because it can potentially reset Whirling Retaliation, and I can use it again. So that's really nice of it. Yeah, we did bolster. Okay, now this is a nice one. Thrill of Danger. So rejuvenate power increasing every with every enemy near you. So I will restore my morale and my power. It does drain. So with more people around me, that actually becomes more strong. Now, this is part of redirect is going to be part of my whirling retaliation or my parry response line. So what this does is obviously my mini targets, but it also negates 35% of damage and reflects 35%. So that's kind of nice. Disabling strikes. This is the potency of your non-damaging debuffs is increased by quite a bit. Speed is increased. Attack speed is increased. Outgoing damage is increased. Misses are increased. Attack duration and reduction to critical defense. So it's a really huge debuff that is going to be happening when I'm using my non-melee abilities. Demoralizing Anthem. This one increases the range and number of targets affected by War Chant. So I have that maxed all the way out. Bringing on the Pain. Thrill of Danger now allow you to restore 2.5% of your morale every time you are hit for the next 10 seconds. So you will see me accessing that a little bit. Vicious Rebuttal. So redirect will absorb and redirect additional damage. So yeah, I'm obviously going to absorb and reflect 25% more damage, and PvP it's only 5. Strong Burst, so my area attacks now have 20% more damage. Protected by the Light, my incoming healing to protected by the shield, and adds a damage shield to protection by the sword. I have not got protection of the shield yet, but when I do, that will be potentially on. Oh, I won't because I'm blue line, so I'm already maxed out. But I don't want to go that far. I could have taken these out, but I'll show you why I did. And then Cataclysmic Shout. This is one I will use, but it is on a long cooldown, so that's why you probably won't see me using it a lot because of that. We'll put this in there. So I did also put heavy weapons training, so my two-handed weapons are going to be doing more damage. And my skill damage is increased. Successfully damaging melee attacks increase my critical chance. So I am not full tank. I am also doing a lot of damage too in my yellow line. Relentless Assault. So that was my red line. Guardian's Ward will reduce skill power cost 30% while activate. That's going to be my first ability. I did put Guardian's Pledge on here because I do like that defensive ability. And Bellow, a Challenge, and Fray have a cooldown. Obviously, with that, I have accessed a few of these, which is just this one. I do have Guardian's Defense. This trait enhances your armor for blocks and stuff like that. That's the only one I've unlocked. Yeah, everything else, obviously, you need to go down to that area to unlock it. There isn't enough points. Okay, so that is my yellow line class traits. Racial traits, I'll go through them all. Gall and Conviction bonus. Obviously, you're going to have more Fellowship for morale and damage. Hobbit Club and Two-Handed Club. I don't equip that one. I do love Hobbit Statue. Hobbit Statue. So it has got a lot of might on it. That helps a ton. I have not done Virtuous Hobbit yet. I have not unlocked it. Return to the Shire, I still have equipped. Silent, I don't really use this that much, but I could. It's obviously just lay prone and don't die. I don't know why I don't have that equipped. I obviously should, but I don't know what I'm doing, like, ever. So we'll go put that back up here. I don't know where. Oh, it's going to be. Yeah, it's going to be in there, right? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I do have it on, right? Huh. It's probably when I get attacked. Okay, so that one I'm obviously going to feign death. It does have a long cooldown though. Hobbit Resilience. This is another nice ability that I will be using. This one will increase hope. Hobbit Stealth, just to stealth around if I want to, and Throw Stone, which I do not have. So that is the ratios. The ones I'm going to be using are Hobbit Stature, Hobbit Stealth, Guile and Conviction bonus, Hobbit Silence, and Return to the Shadow. Okay, now for Virtues. Virtues, I'm going to go a little heavier, and I'm going to go Tank. Only because I'm going to be playing this more like an off-tank. Justice, this is going to give me in combat morale regen, max morale, and tactical mitigation. Passive bonus is max morale. Innocence, physical mitigation, resistance rating, tactical mitigation, and my passive bonus is max. Probably all my passive bonuses max morale. Honor, max morale, tactical mitigation, critical defense, and then passive max morale. Fortitude, same thing, max morale, critical defense, resistance rating, and then passive max morale. And tolerance, which is tactical mitigation, resistance rating, physical mitigation, and my passive is max morale. All right, so that is all of those. Next thing I'm going to show is my allies. So I did go with the two-handed weapon here. I don't know why I didn't put that on there. I do go with the two-handed weapon here. Did I take that off? I went with the hammer. So I'm going to have Heraldry of the Ox, which is going to be Might, Vitality, and Physical Mastery. So that's going to be, because I'm going with a little more damage, I decided to kind of, instead of going for, I went with the Physical Mastery, which is going to increase my damage. Bonus morale multiplier, so that's max morale and vitality. Parry chance, because I want my parries up. That's the line I'm going to be using for my responses. Because Guardians are all about responses. So when I'm in red line, I'm waiting to do damage, which those lines will open up. But with yellow, especially with blue, I'm waiting for something to happen. Waiting for me to block or parry, and then unleash my chain of damage. So parry here is going to give me parry chance and parry rating. So I went with War Chant duration, which is going to be 4 more seconds to it, which obviously is going to change depending on your level and stuff. But I'll just say my War Chant duration is increased and my vitality. Catch Your Breath cooldown. I do use Catch Your Breath a lot. That's going to be my heal. So Catch Your Breath cooldown, Catch Your Breath morale heal, and incoming healing. Guardian's Ward duration block chance. So my Guardian's Ward, which is going to be my opener, my duration is increased, and Guardian's Ward block chance is increased, and block rating is increased. Warrior's Heart, which you'll see me use, it's kind of a morale bubble. So Warrior's Heart and Fortitude duration is increased, and incoming healing rating. Warrior's Heart morale. So Warrior's Heart and Fortitude morale is increased. Warrior's Heart max morale, and incoming healing. And then I also did increase block and parry rating application chance. So block and parry have a chance, and block rating is increased. And I have 2 grand armors on, which is going to be physical damage. For my belt, I'm using Heraldry of the Ox again, which is Might, Vitality, Physical Mastery. Parry chance, which is going to increase my partial parry chance and parry rating. Partial parry mitigation, so my partial parry mitigation is increased, and my parry rating. Incoming damage reduction physical. So my incoming melee damage is reduced, my incoming range damage is reduced, but my physical mitigation is increased. Warrior's Heart Stoic Bubble, which is what I talked about, the bubble morale. The bubble strength is increased, and incoming healing rating is increased. Guardian's Pledge cooldown. So my Guardian's Pledge, which is my opener, also it's kind of a big buff. So you're going to want to use that quite a bit. I think it's on a 10-second cooldown, so you're going to want to use it periodically during your rotation so that you're just applying it all the time. Guardian's Pledge cooldown is decreased, Guardian's Pledge magnitude is increased, and tactical mitigation is increased. Now turn the tables. So there's abilities on here. Whenever you get stunned or dazed or roots, you can break them loose. All characters have them, all classes have them, but with this one, you have turn the tables. This also stuns them. So my turn the tables cooldown is reduced, so turn the tables, and my vitality is increased. Guardian's Ward damage and parry chance. So my Guardian's Ward damage is increased, my Guardian's Ward parry chance is increased, and parry rating is increased. Parry response damage. So my parry response skill chain damage is increased, and my parry rating is increased. And stagger critical chance duration. Stagger critical chance is increased. Stagger effect duration is increased, and my critical rating is increased. And I follow that up with Grand Armor, 2 of them, which is going to increase my physical mitigation. All right, so that's all the allies. Now for the rotation. So the rotation's obviously going to change a little bit because a lot of these are on different cooldowns. So I'm going to go through the first line of it, and then I'll go through kind of what happens after that. Because some of these are going to pop up more than others. I won't be using Stomp unless I want to interrupt the spell, which I don't think there's going to be much of in this dungeon, but that's how it goes. So I might start off with War Chant just to pull them, but honestly, I want Guardian's Ward first. Guardian's Ward is going to be, it strengthens my, so it has an 18-second duration, I apologize. But as you can see, all my parry, all my partial parry, all my weapons, all my partial blocks, all my tactical mitigations, all of these are increased. So this is my opener with damage, but also a huge buff. After that, I like to use Sweeping Cut, because this hits multiple targets up to 5. Sting, if I have to, it's not bad. It removes corruption, but also kind of creates a little bit of damage, and it can also all skills based on successful block and parry response can now be played. So I can trigger this with that. Stagger, I will use that next. This is obviously going to be a huge debuff. It's only one target, does a lot of damage, but it will reduce the target's attack duration, which is kind of like a slow or a lull for them, and their run speed. After I use my Guardian's Ward, I will use War Chant because I want to do that multiple damage, but also this decreases the damage they do. I will drop Bastion of Light right after that. So usually it's Guardian's Ward, War Chant, Bastion of Light, and Challenge, because this is also another debuff. This is all going to be multiple targets. And then I'll start using, usually by then, Guardian's Ward is off again, and I can just go down that rotation I just showed. But I like to open up with these area effects, debuffs, and buffs, because this one obviously does damage too, but it also spreads debuffs. So it's also nice to have that. Anytime a response happens, I see a parry response, I will use Whirling Retaliation, and then that will open up Redirect. You cannot use Redirect until you use one of the parry response. This has a longer cooldown, so I won't be using it a lot. I'll be going back down to the red line down here. I do have Guardian's Pledge, which is another nice buff. It has a longer cooldown, so I don't use it all the time, just when I'm in danger, I'm pulling multiples. This is perfect for mobs and area effects, but it is a 3-minute cooldown, so it does take a while. I don't really use the rest of these all that much. We'll see if Litany works, but I don't believe it does. If it does, then I will use it. But it is a minute 30 cooldown, so it's not great. Anytime I get a response, parry or block response, I can also use Catch Your Breath. This is going to restore my morale and also restore power. It's on a 46-second cooldown, so you can use it quite often, maybe twice in a battle, depends on how long it goes. Warrior's Heart, if I know something is going to be just devastating, I will use this. This also gives me a morale bubble. It also restores up to 70% morale. This is my Ignored Pain. This is what's going to get diseases, wounds, fear, poisons off. And then we did talk about Thrill of Danger. The more there are, the more I can restore morale. Turn the Tables, obviously, is the one we were talking about. That not only can I get rid of a daze or a stun or a root, I also stun up to 3 targets for 3 seconds, so I do like to use that quite a bit. Other than that, I think that's about it. I think it is. I won't really use these, so let's get started. That's it. And obviously, on the bottom line there, my 1 through 4s, whenever those come up, I will use them, as long as my parry response isn't up, or the redirect is up. So let's do this. So we're just going to hit these area effects here. Then I got to redirect. There we go. So as you can see, as they come off, as this goes, I am going to use it again. Then I'll just use my little area effects again. I'm trying to keep Bastion of Light on as much as possible, too. War chant will be up quite a bit. Now my redirect. There we go. Now we'll do this. He's obviously, I mean, this is a low level or a higher level, so I will get worms here. This is where I might get into my catch your breath, see how it goes. Okay, we're going to do that. We're going to increase my thrill. As you can see, it's still healing me a bit. There we go. Once we get done here. There we go. I mean, normally I would go for catch your breath, but I'm gonna wait because I am gonna have the shoulder. We're gonna have a bigger pull here. There we go. We'll eat some food. All right, and now we're gonna just go after this guy. So same thing here. I'm going to do War Chant. I'm going to do the area effects, but I'm going to add probably Warrior's Harden first, and then I'm going to add the Cataclysmic. Yeah, shout. That's tough to say. All right. We're going to do all the area effects here. We're going to go for a bubble. There we go. We might use your catch your breath to see how it goes. There's obviously lights back up. We're going to try to get as much as we can. Now, once again, I do want to remind everybody, this is not a true line. It is a line that's kind of made up from the yellow line area. So, if you do not like class crafts or rotation class, you do not have to do it here. This is just the fun little line I came up with that I personally enjoyed playing a little different sometimes, and not just going strictly red or blue. It is, like I said, it's a little more off-tankish, so you might suffer from not being able to kill stuff as fast as you'd like to. But sustainability, it's pretty good, especially with catch your breath and stuff. So for the healing, catch your breath's like my go-to in the beginning. But obviously, you can take a lot of damage in 47 seconds before it gets back on. So that's why I'm using the pledge. I have the bubble. But this build is a little more area effective. So, I mean, it'd be good for trash mobs. We'll see how it goes on the main boss. They obviously hit a lot harder. Let's see if we can pull these out here. But I want to keep them in my hotspot. So my hotspot is going to be whatever is inside of that white circle there, or that white square. That's my hotspot. And what that does is, it does a little bit of, like a hot damage. Or not a hot, but a dot damage. A little bit of damage over time. There we go. Now we're going to heal. We knew he was coming. He always comes. Okay, so one thing we're going to do, we're going to hit a little bit of that. We're going to debuff ourselves. Cleanse ourselves is what I'll call it. I am going to let myself take a little more damage just because normally I'd be trying to heal myself frantically, but I'm not too worried. Because my catch your breath is, it's not, I'm not going to say overpowered, but it is pretty powerful. These guys are a little bit sturdier, so they take a little bit more damage to take care of them. So we may just do the first boss, just because this is kind of a weird build. I'm trying to wait for Catch Your Breath to come back. I don't want to burn it. There we go. So I mean, I won't use my other stuff until I need to, like my Morale Bubble, Warrior's Heart. I will drop the Thrill of the Dangers in a few times, which is just like a tiny little hot. I'll do the pledge there, which is this one right here, Guardian's Pledge. We'll see what it does. It's a great way to kind of mitigate. But I do use it to kind of cover some of the time until my Catch Your Breath comes back into. I do recover some health too as I'm doing damage. I'll cleanse myself too because yeah. All right. Hey, sir. All right. There we go. Now we're going to redirect, which is big. I'll hit it. Got to cleanse ourselves as often as we can because we don't want to really. We want to keep our Guardian's Pledge up and cleanse as often as we can. The Stagger's a nice ability too, which is on my number 4. Now we're going to do area effect stuff. We'll see here, I probably will use my Catch Your Breath. Because when he pulls the worm out, there is a burst of damage that happens. And it's nice to kind of get that. If you have like an ability to kind of mitigate it, definitely use it. Your Steam kind of like crouches down is when he's going to spawn his little worm. That didn't sound right. But it's true. And if I get in trouble, I still got my Morale Bubble. Which is why I haven't really been using this. Plus, when it gets down to one target, I can kind of recover a lot of health quickly with just my damage. Alright, same thing here, multiple pulls. So like I said, I like to use my Shout, get my Guardian's Ward up, and then start doing the area. It is multiples. I could use my Morale Bubble if I wanted to, but once again, in mitigation and my armor's pretty decent. So I'm not too terrified yet. There we go. We'll do it now. Now that is another thing too. It does only require a parry response to trigger it. So you can use it before, like when redirect was up there, I didn't lose anything. It doesn't consume my redirect. And like I said too, I do get a little bit of healing from just attacking them. Alright, here we go. Hopefully, I did adjust my volume too. I hope that sounds better than it has been. I noticed it was a little low, but I don't know what I'm doing. Alright, hopefully it doesn't pull this guy. It did. That's fine. So what we're going to do is that pulled everything. We're going to use our Morale Bubble. That pulled absolutely everything. That pulled the collar too. This is awful. This is not what we wanted. We're about to see how good we are. I don't feel like I can handle this. But we'll see. Especially when they start getting the worms out, I'm very slow. I should not have used my Bastion of Light in there. Let that be noted. If it does pull the caller, you can back up like I just did. This is bad. This is bad. I don't have any way to stop any of this damage coming. Come on. There we go. We got to catch our breath back. It's gonna buy us a little bit of time. But we really started taking damage once the worms came out. There it was. The worms are devastating. So next time we know, pull one at a time. There's no need for us to be doing a Bastion of Light in there. I think the only character I have that can handle the Bastion of Light in there is Blue Line. I think the Blue Line, he doesn't mind if you pull a lot on him. Which is why with my Bastion of Light, with my Blue Line build, it has Radiant all the way up. Because it doesn't matter to him if he has more on him. He's very hard to kill. Like I said, Yellow Line's more of an off-tankish. Blue Line probably would have been able to handle that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to shout. We're going to do this, but we're going to stay off of a back. Is that the caller again? No. Who am I upsetting here? Oh yeah, it's... Okay. Yeah, we got our stuff back. I think I can take these. We will definitely see. So don't do any area effect down there. I like to say, you know, we learn. We don't. We don't. Alright. So I don't want to do any shouts or nothing. Unless I want to pull them up here. Maybe I'll pull them up here. And not have to deal with that. Otherwise, I'm going to keep pulling them, Larry. There we go. Alright, what we're going to do... There we go. That was my Warrior's Heart there. And now I have I have Catch Your Breath back. Warrior's Heart has a bigger cooldown, but Catch Your Breath, if you wait and use it, you're going to be better off. To use that, or to use Catch Your Breath first, then Warrior's Heart, and then Catch Your Breath again. It should be back by that time. There we go. One down. That definitely went a little better than last time. Do not use any area effect down here, especially in Yellow Line. I'm just not quite bulky enough. I can tank, what was it? I had 3 here, so I can definitely tank that. I'm a little worried about the actual boss. I definitely don't want to be wasting any of my big abilities. Like I don't want to use my Warrior's Heart until I get to the boss. I didn't have my pledge up either. I think that probably hurt me quite a bit. My Guardian's Pledge. Okay, so if you get on this corner and you go to this little area right here, it's like 2 pillars, you can pull this guy by himself. Now the thing I'm going to do, I'm going to pull him up here, because I'm a smart tank. No. Because I've obviously been pulling everything. But the thing is, I want to use that Bastion of Light because it does so much tick damage. It would be kind of silly not to use it. We'll use a Catch Your Breath. So you do want to kind of get them in an area where you can use the Bastion Light, because I do a lot of damage through it. As you saw there, my War Chant brought back both the cooldowns on my response. See? And it also does redirect. So you definitely want to use them if you can. There we go. We got Catch Your Breath back. You don't have to. I mean, you can kind of plot Catch Your Breath a little bit, but you don't have to worry about it too much, especially if you use the cooldowns and stuff on the LIs. You'll get that Catch Your Breath back pretty quick. Okay. So we got 2 more mobs, and then nope. Yeah, there it is. I was like, I killed him, maybe? No. We're gonna do a pledge here. I'll probably need it for that, so I'm gonna just pull it now. We're going to use a War Chant here, which will get my cooldown of my responses back and redirect back. Redirect does a lot of damage. And I'm just trying to keep these area effect ones up. I'm trying to keep Challenge and Bastion of Light up and put it in a safe place where I'm not pulling multiple mobs. War Chant, like I said, is always trying to get the cooldowns of my parry responsibilities back. So I want to use my parry responses first, then use my War Chant. Just watch. See that? It just got my parry response right back. My redirect cooldown, which is normally 30 seconds, is a lot less. You want to use that War Chant when you can too. I'm going to use... I waited until the little worm came, then I used my my heal, my Catch Your Breath. Bastion Light. So I'm basically looking for my area effect abilities first. Then I'm trying to... oh, I forgot to use food. No, my food's still on there. I don't think so. Alright. We're going to pull this cat. Get that buff on for challenge. We're going to get our redirect going. And then we're going to use our War Chant. So yeah, I'm trying to use my parry response and redirect. My rolling retaliation and redirect. Before I get my War Chant, because it'll stop the cooldown. It reduces the cooldown time. Watch, I do this, and then I'll have my chant. Alright, now what we're going to do, we're going to put Catch Your Breath. We're going to debuff ourselves. Challenging. So yeah, my control 1, 2, 3. Those are my area effect. When I'm talking about my area effect abilities, that's literally the one. And I'm trying to eye those so that they're on almost all the time. Whenever they're off a cooldown, use them. Okay, now this is... I'll use this one. There we go. Now, this boss, he's going to spawn 2 guys. I'm going to try to buff up for that as fast as I can because I want to take those 2 guys off. I want to mitigate his damage. He obviously has over, you know, 500,000 damage, so wish me luck, I guess. Right? I should increase what is this? Let's go with that, just in case I have to use my pots. Better than nothing. Alright, here we go. Alright. First things first, that. Alright. We're going to go with our bubble. I'm handling the mitigation pretty good. Okay, now we want to finish this guy. Now it's going to be me and this cat. Now this guy, he hits pretty good. So I definitely need to be aware of that. Oh, I need to do this too. Now he's going to go green at some point. When that happens, there's going to be a bunch of worms that come. Some of the worms explode, and some of them do not. Okay, we're going to heal up right now, because there's going to be some downtime. So we're going to do responses here. There we go. Now we need to buff ourselves. And we almost got Warrior's Heart back. That's perfect. There we go. Alright. There we go. Let's finish this cat up. We need to finish the main guy. That's going to make it a lot easier if we can finish this dude up. Now these worms are going to start exploding. So I'm going to want to get out of that. There we go. Now we got the big worms. These are the big guys. That was obviously the main guy, but these guys, they do a lot of damage. Little worms are going to come and try to explode on me. Heal myself just because. Now we're going to start doing our little area effects stuff here. They're going to start exploding. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to back out of here. Get out of these. I'm reflecting some damage back using the drill. Danger. Got more exploding here. So stay out of the red circles. Or as Stans the Fire calls them, stupids. Stay out of the stupid. There we go. We got our catch your breath back. The next thing we're going to do is our location line, which is our area response line. And we're going to put Bastion back up, and shout. Try to stay in here. We got that back, which is a nice area effect. That's it. That was it, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to pick this up, and then I'll go over the rotations one more time. All right. What was that? That's a breastplate. Is it any good? Not better than mine, so I don't care. Okay, so the rotations, obviously, are the ones I was telling you about. You get to see that. Let me target myself. So I am doing Guardian's Ward, then I'm going up and hitting War Chant, or I'm pulling with War Chant, then hitting Guardian's Ward, then using Bastion of Light and Challenge. Then usually by then, whirling Retaliation has happened. If it hasn't, then I will start with cutting Sweeping Cut, improve Sting, and I'll go to Staggered. But usually it is up, so I will use that. Then I'll use Redirect. I'll go back to War Chant because this obviously does 5 seconds off of my response abilities, which are these two, which is a 30-second and a 5-second. So it makes this one instant. This one, 5 seconds to be off each time. And then whenever these go up, I'm just trying to keep in for 18 seconds, every 18 seconds at least, I'm trying to use Guardian's Ward because it's a nice buff that's up. Whenever these abilities are accessible, I use them. I use them because I like the area effect. But obviously, there's a lot of targets or there's a lot of people around. You don't want to pull all of them. Go to little locations that are safe. Just do that in there because the area effect abilities, especially Bastion of Light, it's nice. It's a nice tip. If stuff gets in trouble, I have Guardian's Pledge. Has a 2-minute cooldown, though. If I need to force a response, so say I need to access Redirect for some reason, I will use Force Opening, then Whirling Retaliation, then Redirect. So that is the actual parry response chain or line. I will use Stomp, but it interrupts, so I didn't use it a lot here because there isn't a lot of casting abilities. I do have Ignore the Pain. I do use Thrill of Danger, so this actually does heal me on every damage I get, so it's always good to use when there's multiple targets. Catch Your Breath I use quite often. I do love that because it's only 46 seconds, and it gives me a lot of morale back if I need to. If I know I'm going to take a lot of damage or there's burst damage and I want to take it in, I will use Warrior's Heart. Other than that, Turn Your Tables, which I didn't get stunned. If I did, I would use it. But that's about it. So if you have any questions, anything like that, please leave them into YouTube. You can get me on Twitch. I'm usually playing Twitch. I'm usually on Twitch and YouTube streaming nightly, so catch me on there. Don't forget, if you like this content, don't forget to give a sub. We are almost at 850, which is kind of awesome, so thank you guys so much. We'll be doing a giveaway at 1,000 subs. I think that's about it. So thank you guys so much for watching. And with that, may the hairs on your toes grow ever longer. Thank you guys so much.